Hi, this is Kazuyoshi Hisano. Thank you for coming to the program Habit Craft for Your Future, Transforming Thought and Actions. My name is Kazuyoshi Hisano and I am going to speak about how to craft a great habit that help you create a beautiful life. And of course, my basic area is not just about the habits, but what I'm focusing on is to help people build a good life, and habits is part of that. And the entire structure is called goal vision, but the habits will play a significant role in the goal vision. So this time I'm going to spend relatively a lot of time on the habits and also explain the relationship with the goal vision. And now we are going to move on to the much more specific topics because we have spent several time before last week talking about the general background of how we should think about our habits and how we should think about our thoughts and actions, those kind of things. So before moving on to the much more specific things, I'd like to speak about how my method is established. I'm not just talking about the processes of how it has been established, but the major components or major kind of background or the learnings or also some academic support that are helping my goal vision habit model become much more powerful. And when I start to speak about the goal vision habit model, I definitely have to touch on my teachers, who is Mr. Liu Tais, who has unfortunately passed away more than 10 years ago, and another Japanese teacher is Dr. Hideto Tomabechi. These two, they are the people who have I learned from and also helped me building what I have speaking and trying to deliver to the world, and that is called goal vision. And this approach is hugely supported by the academic learnings foundings in the area of cognitive science and cognitive psychology. So if you go back to the history, so Liu Tais has been conducting the coaching to the American football team, and also have shifted his career to work with the people for the corporation or the people, every people, not only limited to the football players. And during the process, he have acquired the degree of psychology, and he found that the things are evolving, and so therefore what he has learned and kind of mastered probably in the 1980s or around those eras, he found that the cognitive psychology is playing another important role. And also there is another area that is called cognitive science, which is very close or maybe subsume the cognitive psychology. However, these two are very connected, and both are talking about how our cognitive system will work and how the cognitive system help us and also induces us to do the things that will create our life. So of course, we take an action and do a lot of things, but before that, our brain is playing some role in which is actually unperceivable thing, which we cannot see because that is happening in our brain. But kind of researchers tried to find out what is going on in our brain, and not only by understanding the specific things that's happening in the brain, but also if you connect that with kind of a people's kind of a way of thinking, and also sometimes about language or those kind of outputs, that we can perceive the highly intelligent way of kind of operating our brain, that the fact that our brain is operating, we perceive that we are totally kind of have evolved from the other animals and animals that are not the human being. And in looking at those differences, and also by using the cutting edge technologies like a brain scan or those kind of things, helped them, like researchers, understand much more about how the brain is operating. And but those learning have helped us achieve a lot of things. Actually, artificial intelligence, which is very, very kind of a succeeding in this era, had been kind of developed together with cognitive science and psychology. So in order to do that, they definitely needed the findings of the cognitive science. So what I try to say in the goal vision is use that knowledge so that we can improve our life. And our life is not simple, but we are all human beings, and we all have a set of a brain. And in that sense, there is no difference between the person beside you or even the person you feel she is totally different from you. So if we have all the same shares, all same basically function, if we could learn how to use the brain effectively or appropriately, then the things that will happen will be reasonably manageable or predictable. So that approach, that idea helped Lou Tice or Dr. Hideto Tomabechi develop their own programs, which I really learned a lot and appreciate and also admire a lot. And those programs or concepts were very, very successful. And I tried to add my own flavor and wanted to take it to the next level. And therefore I have added one significant concept, or it's not really added, but it was there, but I really highlighted one very important concept that is called comfort zone. Comfort zone is now a very, very, very popular word. So I have a question here, but the typical word of the comfort zone is slightly different from the way that I use. So my question is coming here is what do you think about comfort zone in general? What is the meaning of comfort zone? And of course, if you look at the word itself, it talks about the comfortable and comfort, so which means that it makes you feel relaxed or at ease or those kind of things. Then that is part of the important meaning. However, we have expanded the meaning of comfort zone. Whether you are happy with that or unhappy with that, our brain will feel that if that is part of your normal daily life, that should be your comfort zone. Like a kind of a go traveling to your office in a very, very crowded train. Maybe that is uncomfortable. However, if that is the everyday routine, it's going to be a comfort zone for you, is the idea. Whether you like it or not, that's going to be your comfort zone. So now going back to the habit thing. So what I'm teaching, what I am trying to deliver is strongly related with and supported by the cognitive science. And I have extracted the idea of comfort zone, and the reason I highlighted it is that because I found that shifting your comfort zone will accelerate your progress toward your achieving goal. The reason is that it's going to take a long time to explain, so I'm not going to go into the detail, but the comfort zone is not easy to shift. But if you have successfully shifted, the reality needs to follow. That is a summary of this. But look at the word of comfort zone. It's a collective things or idea that, or a lot of collective things, and which means that it's really, really close to the meaning of habits. So what I say is that if you shift your comfort zone, that is the imaginary comfort zone, to the goal area, you will be automatically start working towards that. But if we translate this in the comfort zone is very similar to the habits, I would say use the same sentence, and it will be like if you shift your collective habits to the goal side, your reality needs to change, and you will start progressing toward your goal. That is the idea of this one. So there's no difference between what I've been speaking in the previous program or other areas. And it's all about shifting your comfort zone or shifting your collective habits. And now I could say that I've done research a lot, and there are, even if I say modest, there are many, many ways to present good habits. And of course, there are several hugely successful programs that are focusing on the habit or habit formation or habit creating good habits. And I really think that each of them are valuable and play a good role for your life if you apply that to your life. And yet, even so, it's going to be next week's talk, but I also feel some concern about that. The reason is that because cognitive science or cognitive psychology is new academic area, and before that we had some different approaches, and which were very successful. I'm talking about the behaviorism, and which is I'm gonna explain this next week, but it's about putting focus on the things that has happened as a result of their act. And on contrary, cognitive science and psychology is about looking into your mind, in your brain, and so that you will see there is a difference and also the similarity between each human. So you are not going to look about the outcome compared to the behaviorism. So when I observe or go through a lot of successful programs, many of them tend to put much more focus on the behavior. And I will not deny or reject them because it's good than doing nothing. It's far better to take a step and start to create a shift in your life. That I fully agree. However, that even so, that is using the traditional or old, and actually that has kind of played a significant role until 1960s, 70s. So it has been literally replaced. And if the model is based on the previous paradigm, maybe it's not going to last or improve you significantly. And there's the things that I want to talk next week. So this is today's talk, and in summary, I am going to talk next week about the existing program. I'm not going to talk about the specific thing, but try to summarize what is happening in the world of habits formation, and also how it can be improved so that you can have a wonderful life and wonderful success. All right, that is today's talk, and I would appreciate your joining here. I would appreciate if you could register this podcast so that you will not miss what I'm speaking. And also, if you have a question or a comment that you want to inform me, please use some space and form in the podcast so that you can send it to me. All right, thank you so much. This is Kazuyoshi Sano, and look forward to speaking with you next time. Bye-bye.